Peace and love. I wanted to do a quick video on the spiritual or ritual nature of perfumes, okay, and how we can implement them into our self-care practice, our spiritual practice. Um, and so I did a perfume unboxing video maybe a couple of months ago. So if you haven't watched that, feel free to go back and watch it. But I wanted to start off talking about this one right here. I unboxed it in that video because it made me remember my grandmother. My grandmother had a perfume tray on her dresser, and I just remember as a kid going to that tray, smelling the perfume. She had little minis, and she had, obviously larger sizes. But this would have been on her tray along with white diamonds and some of the other popular ones from the 80s, early 80s. And so I got this in remembrance of her. I just remember looking at that tray and just, you know, they looked like little jewels to me. They were always so special, and she loved them. They were special to her. She didn't have a huge amount of scents, but in the ones that she'd had for a very long time. She wasn't the type to go out and buy a whole bunch of perfume. She might have had maybe 7 or 8 scents on that tray. And those are the ones that were there from the beginning to the end, all right? But I think about scents like this. This is Elizabeth Arden's Passion. Um, the memory of her is in this perfume. The memory of this era, of course, is in this perfume, and the women of that time. The powerhouse that comes with this perfume, whether you were, demure, quiet, or whether you were loud. This perfume was worn by many different personalities. I realize in this day and age, it's not necessarily my scent, but in order to honor her, I have it on my altar. So if it's something like this that calls to you because of an ancestor, it can still be put into your spiritual practice. How? It's on my ancestor's table. It's on my altar. I'm sorry, to honor her. So I have it there, along with her picture. And then also too, if I want to bring her energy into the space, I can spritz it. All right, so spritz it in space. If I sit down to do a reading and I want to call her energy up, I can spritz it as well. This is a very strong perfume, even that one spritz. But it makes me the women, you know, the power it took to wear something like this is something else. And so I honor this perfume for that. Another perfume memory is my mother. My mother, she leaned more towards body oil, so she wouldn't have had anything like this. She would have had more of a natural oil. This one is the Auric blends. You can find these sometimes, and this is the aphrodisia. You can find these in the health food stores. She didn't necessarily have this one, but she would lean more towards the body oils. So directly on the skin, maybe a little bit more natural, not with the alcohol, obviously. But she would, of course, lean towards maybe sandalwood, the frankincense and myrrh, things like that. One of the scents that she loved to wear, and I did not resonate with that one either. It was called Earth, and you can still find this to this day. And that scent smelled exactly like dirt, and she loved it. She loved to wear that scent. It had no sweetness to it. It was no sweet note to it at all. It was just like taking up wet earth and smelling it, and that was the scent. It's a natural body oil. And I think about that scent for her, and why would she wear it? I would always say, "Mom, that doesn't smell good," and she would just laugh about it. But I realized too, spiritually, just like this one was calling on a inner power to bring it out outwardly, right? That inner fire being projected through this perfume. This right here with her, with Earth, honoring Mother Earth, obviously. She thought it smelled good, for one. Also a spiritual protectant. This can be a spiritual protectant too, Because if you blowing people away with this perfume, you're not going to have so many people, they're not going to get near you, really. So using perfume as a spiritual protectant, she would wear that earth, and it would guard against any type of superficiality, in my opinion, looking back on it. And so it's a way to keep your boundaries up as well when you're thinking about perfume. But I wanted to talk about it today as a form of self-care and as an easy ritual. Perfume, whether it's a body oil, whether you're creating your own perfume, we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Um, it doesn't have to be expensive. You can use what you have. I have a couple of examples here. Getting the little mini sizes. Maybe you can't afford a full bottle of Versace. Maybe this is not your thing. But my grandmother used to have the little small minis on her perfume tray. Vanilla Fields, a classic from the 80s. Could be the 90s, maybe the 80s, late 80s. Um, cheap. Cheap to this day, you can find it. And it still smells fantastic, right? So perfume, having these things, these little luxuries. This right here, Pacifica. This is a brand that's a little bit so it's vegan, cruelty free. So a little bit leans a little bit more on the natural end. So headaches, not headache inducing. You can feel safe spraying it. This one is Dream Moon, so perfect for nighttime rituals. You can say after I take my bath, after I take my shower, I cleanse my body. I put on oil. I say a prayer over myself as I put on my oil, and I spray my Dream Moon perfume. I I give it an intention, all right? When I spray this perfume, I want to connect with my guides. And this can be a time at night where I can pull out my cards, maybe do a nighttime reading, work with my oracle, or I want this perfume to, or this scent to help um, with protection during sleep, or to bring a better quality of sleep. And so what you say, what you want it to be, you speak it into that perfume, you speak it into it by holding it. You can hold it close to your heart, or you can just hold it and talk with it, right? You can sit it on your altar if you have an altar space. You can light a candle beside it. So the idea here is anything can be a ritual, because in reality, you actually are the ritual. We are the ritual. The intentions are set by us. Unfortunately, negative intentions are set by us as well. If we look at the world negatively, if we look at ourselves negatively, if we walk out the house in that manner, then those type of things will be reflected, right? And so we want to always think of ourselves, think of our minds, think of our bodies, think of our beings and how we operate in the world as being somewhat of a ritual, or knowing that we have some type of an influence on who we are and how we can show up. If I'm feeling like I need sweetness in my life, the gourmands are popular right now. This particular perfume, I unboxed this one. This is the Girl of Now, and I had a sample from this for a very long time. And so I eventually got a small bottle of it. But this is extremely sweet. And also, I find myself some mornings when I know I need a little sweetness in my life. I need to have a lighthearted energy, a childlike energy. I don't want to take things too serious. Then I'll spray something like this. Or this one here, same thing. Marshmallow scent, very light, very sweet. I want to feel delicate. I want to feel delicate. I want the universe to treat me like that as well. I want the universe to treat me with sweetness. I want the sweetness to be the gift from the universe. And so when I wear these perfumes, that's the intention that I put into it, and that's the idea that I have when I spray it. It's changing my vibration. It's telling me, the higher self, this is what we want to achieve throughout the day. And these are the energies that we want around us. This is what we want to pull towards us, right? That's all we're doing when we're working with intention setting and we're working with rituals. Also, this brand here, Frey Herba, infusing, and I'll put some of the links below. I've had these for a while, so the labels are gone. But this was the Earth's Love Oil. Anytime you want to work with Mother Earth, if you want to meditate, if you want to work with your cards, if you just want to have to sit in contemplation, this one has beautiful herbs in it. mugwort. We have crystals in here too. So infusing ritual oils with herbs, with crystals, that's a powerful way to bring that energy in. And then when you work with those herbs and you put those crystals into your perfumes or you utilize ones with them, you honor those herbs. You give thanks to those crystals by acknowledging that they're there, right? All right, so this one is very beautiful, very grounding. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your strength. Thank you for your healing. Thank you for your cradle. You know, something like that. I honor you. I send you healing. I send you love. And so when you work with Mother Earth in that way, when you acknowledge Mother Earth, when it it's reciprocal. I know it might not seem like it, but it's reciprocal. One of the rituals that I used to do, and I still do, I just haven't gone out there in a while. I would go and meditate outside, and I would take my hands and place it upon the earth, and I would pray on the earth. I would pray, meditate, but I would also pray directly to Mother Earth for her healing as well. We have to have an understanding that Mother Earth needs to be honored, but also Mother Earth needs to be healed. Okay, and so we can do that by just speaking the name. Okay, speaking the energy. This is another company that I love, independent perfumer, The Moon and Bloom. She's still on Etsy, and I'll link. But I've been buying her stuff for many, many years. I haven't got anything in a while, but these are old. These are old oils. And so they all have different energies when I smell them. And that's going to be the same thing with your perfume when I was talking about the gourmands. The energy is just different with them. All right? And so this one here was called Unicorn Kisses. And so it puts me in the mode of just one of the gourmands. It's really sweet, vanilla, maybe a little bit of citrus in there as well. And so unicorn energy, fantastical energy, magical energy, those types. I'm calling on those when I put this on. I'm calling on that sweetness. I'm calling on that childlike spirit when I wear this, right? And so this is what I want to draw towards me when I wear it as well. They also have ones like this too. I haven't Goddess of the Sea. You can find these in the metaphysical shops. And this one is for Yemaya. And it's made specifically to honor her through the color, through the scent. This one has a very mild scent. But if you work with her as a goddess, then you would anoint yourself with this oil. Just put it on your pulse points. And you would say a prayer, or you would say a message, give a message to her as you anoint yourself, and ask that those energies work with you. Ask her to come into your life and to bring that healing and that energy, her energy, into your life. All right. Another thing too is, I haven't filled this one up, but finding beautiful bottles at the thrift store and making your own anointing oils, all right? And so this is easy to do as well. Olive oil is going to be a good choice. Avocado oil is going to be a good choice. Those two oils last a very long time. Jojoba oil also will last. Adding a little bit of vitamin E would help with the longevity of the oil. But something like this, it's beautiful to keep by your bedside table. And this is you creating your own oil based off your intention. So say we want to work with the goddess energy. So we have Pele here. The energy of fire. You can add cinnamon, add a cinnamon stick to the oil. You can add crystals, carnelian, things like that, to bring that energy of Pele into your perfume oil that you're creating on your own. You can add rose, because roses are red. We want to think about that energy, that frequency when we're working with Pele. So the colors that you use with the botanicals, the crystals that you use, the colors, the energetic vibration of them, Let's see, tiger's eye would be beautiful in something like this as well. Bast. This is another one that will be a beautiful oil. This one says play, but a very playful energy. One thing, a herb that you can add to it, catnip. All right, so you're adding catnip to your oil. Hopefully, I mean, you want to test to make sure it doesn't cause any irritation on the skin, but you're adding catnip to your oil. As you're adding that catnip, that herb, that botanical to your oil, that herb, I'm sorry, to your oil, you're praying over it. All right, you're praying over it. You're acknowledging it for its healing properties. All right, you're acknowledging Mother Earth for granting you the opportunity to use it in your healing work. You're giving thanks to Bast for her energy. You're asking that energy to come into your life, and you honor her through it. All right, so that's how you create your own. All right, so you don't always have to buy anything. You can use what you have at home to create your own anointing oil. Um, let's see. Also, too, this one here, this is cashmere. This is by Chopard. The look of it is beautiful, and it creates its own healing energy. And so to have a perfume tray, even if you just have one perfume, guys, it's not about going out and getting a whole bunch of stuff. We're in a period where we're trying to cut back on expenses. Okay, we want to not feed the machine right now. But when you get something that you love. All right. So having one perfume sitting on your tray is nothing wrong with that. Picking something that's beautiful that you want to pick up, that you want to look at, that makes you feel it's like a sense of luxury. You're a queen, you're an empress, right? You are, in my eyes, right? And so you're a queen, you're an empress, you're a priestess. And so you want to see things that put you in that feeling, put you in that energy. And so having just one perfume that you enjoy looking at, this one is very beautiful. This is a very light perfume. And so if I'm spraying this to me is being gentle with myself. All right. This is being gentle with myself. This is honoring my heart space with this. It has a very faint smell. It's a little floral, a little fruity, but it has a nice base of vanilla. It's like a more elevated version of Vanilla Fields to me, but it's very light. You would have to get in close to the person to smell it. And I think that's a beautiful thing about scents as well, for certain scents. You don't have to be loud. The perfume is just for you to enjoy and for those who are close to you, right? And so this is kind of beautiful in that way. But this causes tells me to be gentle with myself. And so when I spray this, that's the energy that I have in my mind, and that's the energy that I have in my heart when I'm working with this. We're working with herbs. We're working with botanicals. We're working with crystals. Crystals, the energetic vibration of the crystal, the properties, the healing properties, and the color, right? We're also working with the color of the bottles. Pink is my favorite color. And so I'm going to gravitate towards getting perfumes that might have pink liquid and they might have pink bottles. And this brings me joy just to see them. This already brings a lifting of the energy. What are we doing here? We are changing, we're working on changing our vibration through ritual practices, however small they may be. When you hop in the shower in the morning, that's a ritual. It can be. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. What do we mean? It means that you're picking a beautiful soap, something that smells wonderful. It could be from the, CVS. It doesn't have to be expensive. We're not talking about that. But if it's healthier, the healthier, the better, right? So we're picking a luxurious soap. We're praying over our body as we wash ourselves. We're asking for those impurities to rinse away, but all negative energy to rinse away and go down the drain. All right. We're honoring ourselves with the water. We're giving thanks. We're giving thanks for the water, for the healing, for the rejuvenation, for the purification. And as we're stepping under that water, we're saying that and we're thinking that. That's a ritual. We're preparing ourselves for the day. When we get off and we dry our bodies off, we take the towel and pat it on your body and give thanks. Give thanks for the vessel. as you're oiling yourself up, you know, you're speaking beautiful things to yourself. This is going to be a beautiful day. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Most High Energies, for waking me up this morning. Allow me to go out into the world and to live my truth and to show myself fully. Those type of energies. Also, after you put on your oil or your lotion, you take this step and you take your perfume, whatever it may be, or your oil, and you put it on your pulse points. And that intention that you set for the day. Maybe you have a citrus perfume that'll be perfect for working with the energies of abundance, thinking about citrine. All right, maybe you have some citrine crystals. Maybe you can take a citrine tumble and just place it near the perfume, right? Um, Everything can be an act of ritual. Everything. As we walk out the door, as we get in our car, as we get to our job, I do not walk into my job without praying over my body, praying over my spirit. I need it for my particular line of work. But I need my ancestors with me when I go in there. Sometimes it's not easy, guys. It's a hard job. And so I need my ancestors to back me up when I get in there because I've had some rough days. And I've had some days where I've been treated like gold and some days where I've been treated like lead, right? And so I have to have them with me. And so as I walk into the doors of my job, sometimes if I'm getting up in the morning, as I'm walking, to the doors, I'm praying over my body, I'm praying over my spirit. And I'm saying, Spirit, thank you for allowing me to be here another day. Please be with me, ancestors, as I walk in here. Please grant me your energy. Please grant me your strength. Please grant me your protection. Thank you. Um, they're part of my daily routine because I need them, Also, this is how we bring magic into our lives, understanding that we are the magical beings. We are magic. It comes from within. Buying things that created by other magical beings, that's also a wonderful thing. But don't forget that you also are the magic. And so if you have something that's empty, you can create your own. Um, After a rough day, running a bubble bath, and getting in that bubble bath and soaking and just giving thanks. I had another video where I talked about this. It might have been, I can't think, it might have been one of the Goddess Guides readings. But the idea that for me, my ancestors, a lot of my ancestors, they weren't hopping in a bubble bath. You know what I'm saying? They weren't hopping in a shower and using a beautiful soap and praying over their body. More than likely, they were praying over their body, right? They were praying over their body, and they were going into the ocean or going into the river, and they were praying. So there will always be ways. But for me to hop into a bubble bath, that's a luxury. And we've gotten to a point where we think that these things are just normal. When we start to realize that they are luxuries, it becomes magical. It becomes a form of ritual. And so that I know that my great, 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 great grandmother wasn't hopping in there, I'm hopping in there for her. And so I honor her by being delicate with my body, being delicate with my spirit in ways that they weren't able to do so. They weren't able to be vulnerable. And so the fact that I can be vulnerable here and now, I honor them by doing it, right? The fact that I can put on these things, the fact that I can honor my grandmother, maybe not by wearing this because this is too much, but by spraying it and bringing her energy up, bringing her memory up, allowing her to know that in this particular house, she is still loved. And not only every once in a while, she's loved daily, daily. So, and is the same for men as well. Same for the sprays. You all have seen me. I get the Witch's Roots box, but I have these oils and I don't use them all the time. So now I just start spraying my area before I do my readings. This is Fortuna. Also, spraying your linens, perfect. Bringing that abundance into your life, bringing that energy into your life. So, making your own ritual bath salts, getting Epsom salt from the store, Dr. Teal's, getting the plain, maybe the lavender, adding some rose petals to it, adding some jasmine flowers to it. A lot of times you can find botanicals at the health food store. Wanting to bring love into your life, self-love, taking a rose quartz and putting it on the side of your bathtub, all right, and lighting a candle. Because before we want romance from others, we have to bring romance to the self, right? So we're loving ourselves properly first, so that when we bring a partner, when we have a partner come into our lives, they see us. They see us in ritual, and they're saying, "Wow, this particular person, masculine energy, feminine energy, and ritual, they're powerful. They love themselves. I need to make sure that I'm loving them, and I'm loving myself, really, that I'm loving myself enough, just like they are." Because that's a true partnership when two people come in love, loving themselves together. They love themselves, and then they come in together. You know, if one person doesn't love themselves properly, it's going to be unbalanced. It won't be Six of Pentacles energy. It'll be Six of Pentacles reversed. And so, taking that rose quartz, putting it beside your bed, making that putting that beside your bed too, but putting it beside your bathtub as you take a ritual bath. As you go to sleep, taking that rose quartz, put it beside your bed, spraying yourself with a little oil or making an anointed oil with a little bit of rose in it, putting that on your body before bed, having that rose quartz under your pillow, and asking Spirit to bring self-love and healing into your life, or romantic partnership into your life, right? We're not out here trying to manipulate situations. We're not out here trying to look at somebody specific. This is the person I want. I want them to come into my life. Spirit, help me. Do. Life isn't like that, all right? You ask the universe to bless you with what's for you, right? Anytime you're doing ritual work, when it involves bringing love, if you're interested in romantic love, don't hold somebody's, don't do it. Try not to hold somebody's face. Try not to hold somebody's energy. um spirit wants us to be open for miracles and open for surprises, right? Anytime you're doing spiritual work like this and you're holding on to somebody's energy, you really are holding on to their energy, whether they know it or not. But not only are you holding on to their energy, you're holding your energy hostage as well. You're not allowing spirit to move freely in your life because you are holding on to an idea that a lot of times is not necessarily true. Okay, spiritually, we come in contact with people. It doesn't mean it's for a lifetime. We have soulful connections with people that are meant to trigger awakenings and information gathering from spirit. But that's where it stops. When we have spiritual connections with someone, it doesn't have to be romantic. We can give thanks for all the connections. That's a whole nother story, a whole nother um, video. I just watch some of the lovers readings that I do on here. Love should come to the self first, and then it extends outwardly. It's dangerous when we put so much heaviness on someone else. It's dangerous. It's dangerous mostly to ourselves. All right? And so you're wishing for love with somebody else that doesn't have self-love for themselves, because anyone that's willing to be reciprocal with you, they should have courage. They should have power. They should have strength. And if they don't have it, then they don't have it. But then if you can't be confident in spirit to allow them to move through you and move your life in ways, then you don't have it also. And so you have to work on that healing. That's where these anointing oils come into play. Create a whole oil for protection, rosemary, all right, inside your healing oil. Rosemary is a beautiful one for protection. For healing the system, for healing the body, chamomile is a good one. Bringing that calmness and that peace to the mind, slowing the mind down, allowing spirit to work through you by quieting the mind for a bit. Lavender and chamomile inside of the oil for you. Putting that oil on your pulse points and giving thanks to those herbs. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. It's also the same thing with tea. You pour a cup of tea. You give thanks to the herbs in it. You give thanks to the flowers that are in it. You give thanks to Mother Earth for creating them. All right, you honor Mother Earth through utilizing them and understanding their importance. Each particular herb has something that it brings to you, to the spirit energetically. You honor each one as you drink it, as you breathe it first, you smell it. All right, and so that's all. It's the same thing with jewelry. All right, you have a beautiful piece of jewelry, you give it an intention when you wear it. That's another video. We'll talk about that another time, but that's all. I'll be back again and we'll talk some more. All right, peace. Love you.